Welcome back to Vintage. We're playing Planet Coaster, and today we're going to be taking a nice little tour of Dark Valley. This will be the second last episode of Dark Valley. Next one will be just all the POVs without any talking, so it's kind of like this, but it's without. The tour parts are just POV of the main rides. And speaking of which, the main rides are the Anti-Cars ride, all the roller coasters, the log flume, and also I've also put in all the water slides in there too. So now that's done. Did reach 100% in terms of the counter. We have Dark Valley. Here's our entrance, tickets area, bunch of advertisements. Then you enter the park here. Have the exit over here. Restrooms are right here. It's a bit of an oddly designed restroom, but this is how it's split up. But it didn't turn out horrible. I personally think it's fine. And then over here is our big main maintenance area of the park. Just two big warehouses. That would be enough for the whole park. We're gonna have a long operating season, so that would give them enough time to do maintenance. Coming into the park here. On the right, we have more restrooms and some more advertisements that should be going. Yeah, they are going. Just was too far. But I really like how these vids turned out in terms of for the screens. I think they're really nice. And I hope that we get more of them in the future. But we got some more advertisements. This would be like an office building, along with it being guest services and guest relations, and tickets and all that stuff in here, so will be some offices up top. Also probably a bit of a warehouse, but we have guest relations over here with what's supposed to be more advertisements. Let's just get one of them going at least, maybe. There we go. Well, got some advertisements up there, and then we have Gelato Bros over here. Just a little ice cream place. And we'll start on the left side, and then we'll come back around to the right. But over here, we have the chair swings, which is called Grand Swings. We have Big Bites. Nothing much else to say, it's just grab and go unit, pretty big one. Then some access to the back area, and then we have bumper cars. Then along our main midway here, we'll talk about scenic drive and all that stuff on the way back. But we have Cosmic Cow, Milkshake Place, and then we have Cosmic Spinners. It's a little bit of a sci-fi area. And then over here, coming to our Spanish area. We got Tango on the right, Western Spice Shack on the right here, grab and go unit again. Some seating areas in here for it. We have El Toro, which is our little claw. Have the train, which brings you to the water park / the other side of the river. And the other side of the park. And then we have El Matador. This is a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. Coming up the queue, just goes up along the exit. Big old cattle pen. Goes up into the station, and we have our station. And the colors are supposed to be like what the El Matador wears, which is the people that, which it translates to bullfighter from Spanish. I'm sure you've probably seen them at some point, so it's kind of what the whole ride is themed to, the bullfighter. That's why we have the bull all over this whole entire area, and also plastered on this kind of clock tower type thing, which this is what houses the elevator for ADA access. And then we have stairs along the back here for our exit, and then it just comes right back out where we were. And we also have the maintenance area for it over here too in the back lot for Western Spice Shack. But put our loose articles aside, and we will go for a ride on El Matador. Alrighty, so that was El Matador. As you can see, we do have the train over to the side here. We aren't gonna ride it, but we'll just look at the layout here. So it is a pretty scenic one, at least over here. This goes out, turns around, goes through these trees, heads over the river, and then I'll talk about that when we get over there. But like I said, pretty scenic ride for at least this side. Our side isn't too scenic because that's where the whole maintenance area is for it, but still nice. And Tango has a pretty odd cowling queue with a bunch of oddly shaped switchbacks, but it's fine. Has some restrooms over here, and then we come into a more classic area of the park with Scenic Drive. This is just an antique cars ride, nothing too special. Goes up the side, it's pretty high capacity, so they wouldn't need a long queue. Then just has one little switchback, and that's it. We have the maintenance area behind the station. And then this is the entire plot. You would have saw part of it from El Matador. And some flowers and stuff are in here too. But let's go for a ride on Scenic Drive. Alrighty, so that was Scenic Drive. Going on from there, continue along here, there is the Grand Swings. Come back to the entrance plaza area. On the right we have the Grand Carousel. Just the carousel, nothing too crazy. And then we have the gift shop, which is called Dark Valley Emporium. Took inspiration from Splash Emporium, with the name there. And this is how it turned out. Pretty nice. This is Nerd Chacho's gift shop stuff pack. They're really nice in terms of all this stuff in the pack. Got some going through that wall. But for our checkout here, just 3 checkouts. Doesn't need to be anything too crazy. You don't need to be dealing with too much. Then we have a little back area here too. And then what would be a little back room too. But that's that. Continuing along, we have Swing Sanity, which is just an SNS Scream Swing. And I purposely wanted it over the river here since you swung out onto the river. And for this, just go into a nice little cow pen here. Nothing crazy. Coming across the river here, we got a nice bridge. This is the other way to get across. The only other way is by the train. So, this way could be a little bit quicker, could be a little bit slower on where you are and how you see it. To the right, we have access area to Timber, which is our GCI wooden coaster. I'll talk a bit more about it in a little bit. But over here, we have some restrooms and Latte Love, which is a coffee shop. Restrooms are over here. Excuse me. But we got a back area for both of them. And then we have our Ferris wheel, which is just called Big Wheel. Nothing too fancy with the name there. And then this back area here is all closed off to guests. Here, this could be used for future expansion. It really could be used for anything. Could probably fit in a little roller coaster in here, or a couple flat rides, or big sort of something in here. Whatever. But in the context of the series, we are not doing anything with that. Over here, though, we do have Timber. Like I said before, it is a GCI wooden coaster. Coming in, we got cow pen. Then we go into another cow pen. Go up the stairs. Then we're in our station here, which this station turned out really nice. I really love this ride. It's probably my favorite ride that I have made on Planet Coaster 2, or at least in this park. I might have made one that was better in the last series, but this is one of my favorites so far. in terms of with Planet Coaster 2. But coming out, we have our photo booth, and it's actually the only ride that has a photo booth, I want to say. So nothing crazy, but we'll go for a ride on Timber. So I'll see y'all in just a little bit. Alrighty, so that was Timber, the GCI Wooden Coaster. Coming down our ramp here, the Sally would do ADA. Coming to the gift shop. Nothing too crazy, just small little gift shop. The only real disadvantage with this gift shop being a walk-through gift shop here, and how they made it, is that you have to have the gift shop open to have the ride open. So that makes the ride a little bit more expensive in terms of staffing, but overall would probably be worth it. But let's go away, because exit path just continues out into where we just were. This is the back lot. Got our maintenance building for it. And then this path just continues on for access to where the camera is for the first drop here. And yeah, just gives truck access to over there. Just to make it a bit easier on maintenance. And then coming along, we will just we'll circle around here. So we'll go to the right and then we'll come back and start or end right here. But coming along, on the left we have Synchronize. Nothing too crazy with that. And then we have the Eatery in here, which is just a big bit of international flavors in here. And gelato. And I really love how this turned out, personally. This is a really nice addition to the park here. Probably my favorite food unit that I've made so far. Or actually my second favorite. Big Bites and slash Demon's Den. That's my favorite food unit that I've made so far in Planet Coaster 2. We have King Coaster's teacups over here. Teacups. Same kind of theme as I did in Tomatoland. And then we have a outside seating for the eatery. This is more of our kids area. So on the left we have Egg Wheel. These are eggs, so it kind of made sense. Restrooms, and then we have Chief Beef. Just a burger place. Back area for Chief Beef. Then we got a small little seating area for Chief Beef and Fire Breath. Just our kids coaster. It's nothing big. It's really nothing. But just coming around under the lift hill, Cowpen. Then we have our station. I wouldn't really need a place for the loose articles because it's a favorite team ride, so nothing's really needed for that. But nonetheless, we will go for a ride on it. So let's go for a ride on Fire Breath. Hold on to all your stuff, and I'll see you just a little bit. Alrighty, so that was Fire Breath. Like I said, nothing too special, just a little kids ride. Continuing along where we were, we have spinner, flat ride, nothing much, nice for kids. On the right, we do have a nice little area for log flume. Could be a splash area, but I don't think this area gets too wet from the log flume. You would get good amount of mist though, coming off of it. But just a nice area just to kind of peer into the log flume. We do have life preservers throughout the whole entire log flume pool, just because you kind of need those because of water. But over here we have magic carpet, just in our flat ride. And then we have log flume. Well, a very basic name. It has a kind of western theme. Very loose, but has switchbacks, go up, cattle pen, go up into the station, place, put loose articles, and then nothing too crazy. Has a pretty nice, or pretty big mains area for it, but I'd say it turned out really nice. But let's go for a ride on log flume. Make sure not to get too wet though. Don't want to be walking around with soggy feet and wet clothes in the park. But like I said, we'll go for a ride on log flume, and I'll see you just a little bit. So that was log flume. Coming out the exit here. Continue right. Have a nice little grab and go unit. Nothing too special with it. Just place to get some food. Like I said, grab and go unit. Then we have the access to log flume in the back area for the grab and go unit. Some seating for the grab and go unit. Then we have the access into the main area for our wooden roller coaster, just simply named roller coaster. This is a very classic wooden coaster. We'll go on in a little bit, but we will look at the exit over here. Just a nice little ramp on your side. This is the access into the back area for the eatery and the restrooms over here. Nothing too crazy. Continuing on, we'll go left just to look at one last ride, and that is High Roller. Just one switchback, down and back, and then we have a nice little fountain in here. Like I said, nothing too special. Then continuing along, on the left we have the dog shop, just a hot dog place, seating area for the dog shop, and then also the exit for our Spinsanity. Spinsanity, just go into a cow pen on the ride. You know, and we also have restrooms over here. But on this side of the path, we do have roller coaster. Go into a cow pen, go under the brake run, nice big cow pen, go up into the station, and then you go to ride it. But so, make sure not to get your brains beaten out by the roughness. It isn't horribly rough, but got that old wooden coaster charm to it. But do hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alrighty, so that was Roller Coaster. Just classic wooden PTC wooden coaster. Nothing too special, you just go out. Hills, turn around. Come back hills. Go to the brake run. Except nothing too special. Then we come into here. Where we have Skyline Watcher and Invertigo. So these queues both follow each other, just wrap around Invertigo. Then Vertigo's queue splits off next in here. They're both very high capacity, so I didn't put in any switchbacks. I should probably put in some for Vertigo, but it's fine. It turned out alright. And then over here we do have Skyline Watcher, just a nice observation tower. Park would have probably invested in this just because the very scenic area that the park's located in will be a great addition for it. Probably a ton of people would come for it, and they could probably advertise it too, to be able to see the nice area. Have some nice big floodlights in here. Then we come back out, and this is our water park. Access area to the wave pool. Have what's supposed to be advertisements, but why would they want to work? Why would they want to work? I don't know. It's really amazing me. Still so annoying though. I don't want to stay on. But we at least have one on. Their little office building. Buy dryers on the left. Go under this nice arch for our entryway. And guest relations is on the right. On the back side of that little building there. And then we have our wave pool on the right called Tsunami. Nothing too crazy. Changing rooms in here. 2 minutes long. Back area for one of the restaurants. Then we'll go this way and then we'll work our way around. So we have Tiki Hut. Just use the restaurants. It's really nice. I would say it turned out. And then coming up here, we have Sun Deck. Got a nice little bar up here, Sunshine. It's a bar. At least close we can get to one. There's a nice sun deck for you just to bathe in the sun. You know, nothing crazy. Then it has a nice little seating area for additional seating for Tiki Hut. And if you just want to sit at a traditional beach table or bench table, whatever. And then we have a tube collection area. Plus a nice covered seating area in here too. And this tubes area would be to supply Lazy Creek. Some more floodlights. And so Lazy Creek, nice little lazy river. Go around, got some water effects here. Have lifeguards all over. It's a pretty short lazy river, but nonetheless, it is a pretty nice one. And then, continuing along our path here, on the left we have a sitting area for Pizza Hut. I didn't try to name it off the chain of fast food restaurants, but I mean, it's a hut. And it serves pizza, so Pizza Hut. But there's also restrooms in here. Access for Lazy River lifeguard stands. Except for the one at the entrance. And then we have the seating area for Chief Beef / Pizza Hut over here. And then this is also access into the solar field and the trains maintenance area. But that stuff we'll talk about in a little bit. Continuing along here, we have guest relations. And then we also have another changing room. And the reason why we have guest relations and all this stuff over here too is because another exit for the water park is the train. So you need all those services over here too, since you can enter and exit from the train. Speaking of which, there is no one on the train for some reason. Oh, it's closed. That could be why. But now tons of people will flock to it, just as a way to get around. But, so now tons of people will be coming in through here, and they have guest relations to buy their pool passes and all other things. Change rooms to change, and buy dries to buy dry, obviously. For the train here, just got some switchbacks. Follows the theme of the rescue queues for the water park. And then we have the same station as the other side. Nothing too special. But for our first water slide of this tour, we have Funnel. Nice queue goes up. Spiral staircase. Then this is our big tube one. Just go out 180-degree turn, go into a big old funnel. go out. But this is where you want to get wet. We're in the water park now, so you want to get wet. You're in your bathing suit. You know the drill. But so let's go for a ride on Funnel. Alrighty, so you all just got soaked on Funnel. Went up some nice sides of the funnel. And we could exit out, which we will in a minute. But we do one more water slide ride in here, and that is reverse. Just a small little switchback, then you go up the stairs, and it's a nice little double tube. So you just go down, make a 90-degree turn, then you just go up a reverse element. Start to go up the side, and then you fall back down backwards. Doesn't look like you go up too high from here, but on ride it looks like you go up almost all the way. And it looks really cool. On ride, I would say. So, yeah, but let's get even more soaked on reverse. Alrighty, so we just got off reverse. That was the last slide for this pool and area. But, so we got another reverse sign in here, but this is the exit for both of them. Restrooms over here, and tubes over here, because all of our tube slides are here. And then we have a back area for our restrooms plus water pump. And coming back here again, we have Racer, which is just a mat slide. Mats would be put here, but there is no mat assets, so I didn't put any in. Just go up here, go up the side. This is a very high capacity slide, so there's need to be a long queue. Won't get too wet, but it's fun to race your friends on and just other people. But so let's get racing. Alrighty, so that was Racer PV. Hope we won the race and are thoroughly soaked by now, but we do have one more slide. Coming along here on the left, we do Splash Emporium, which we'll go in here real quick before the last slide. Nothing much, pretty much just a smaller gift shop as Dark Valley Emporium. 2 registers instead of 3. Small little back room, which is actually bigger than the main gift shop, but it's fine. So that's one of the 3 gift shops in this whole park. Which, while it may seem like very little, I mean it is, but it's fine. It would be enough, considering that this park's pretty small. I mean, Kennywood only has like 4 or 5, so pretty good amount for this size of park. But our last water slide is Sea Serpent. So coming up here, small little switchback, and then go up the stairs. Splits into 2 slides. These are both single tube slides. They're both fairly similar in nature. They're both pretty much just helixes, but they do slightly different layouts. But let's go for a ride on both of them, and hopefully by now, or after these, you'll be very soaked. And yeah, so let's go for a ride on Sea Serpent. Alrighty, so by now, you should be very soaked. If you aren't, I'm thoroughly disappointed. But this is the exit only for Sea Serpent. That's the only thing in here is that exit pool. So, exit only sign. No one should be going in there. But now that you're very soaked, it's the end of the day. You're leaving the park. You gotta buy dry. Then you gotta change. And that is your day at Dark Valley. Oh wait, I did forget one thing, and that is the backlot over here. Coming over here, we got ways to cross the tracks, solar field gives power for the park, and then we also have the storage area for the train, and also a little maintenance area for it too. But yeah, do hope you've enjoyed your day at Dark Valley. But that is the tour of Dark Valley. I hope you've enjoyed the series. I enjoyed making it. Got really nothing much else to say. I will be posting all the POVs, which will be the last episode of the Dark Valley series. I'm going to take a quick little break from Planet Coaster. I need to think of a new park to do. So I don't know entirely what we're doing yet. Probably be 1 or 2 weeks. I don't know entirely yet, but I might do like one-off things, or I might even just do a whole water park. I really enjoy doing the water park. Definitely was a nice new thing. But I might just do like one-off roller coasters for a little bit, or do a couple of those while in between trying to figure out what we're doing next. But that's enough of me ranting. Do hope you enjoyed this video. Do hope you've enjoyed the series. And if you haven't, make sure to subscribe. Do see the next one. Bye!